and then it's going to drop off. And the amount of preparation now that has been done, is being done, is it is the biggest effort we'll ever see in our lifetime at the it's like at the speed of light, everything that is happening here. Anyway, well, we do have some good news, in as much as there is a healthcare workers union discovered a massive stockpile of N95 masks. You know, the ones that Joe Biden and Barack Obama never replenished after the N1H1 outbreak. Anyway, union representing healthcare workers said they located 39 million N95 masks and were connecting their supplier to hospitals, state and local governments, etc. We've talked a lot about hydroxychloroquine, along with azithromycin, and the anecdotal results. Dr. Oz will weigh in on that later in the program today. But the good news is the 6 million donated doses from Israel have arrived, and they're going to give us another 4 million. And we've been putting people on the air, and Dr. Oz has done some amazing work with other doctors around the country, informing people that, you know, they're not getting any bad news at all that he has seen or shared with us, but we'll get an update from him later in the program today. Businesses, again, are stepping up big time, as they always do. We are the United States of America. There is moments like this that you got to pause, you got to stop, you start thinking, you start looking, you start, you know, you see a landscape emerging. And to the credit of so many people, you see the best in people. You know, look, I always say, as Barry Farber had said, the great talk show host, legend, pioneer of this industry, never been a country in the history, man, that has accumulated more power, abused it less than us. And I take it one little step further, having learned from him, that has used that power for the advancement of the human condition. That's who we are. That is what we do. And you see all of these businesses. You see all of these healthcare workers. You see our medical researchers and scientists and doctors and first responders and nurses and every other American on the front line to help their fellow men and women in need. It's inspiring. And the list is not small, it is dramatic. It is America at its best. It is American exceptionalism. Let's talk about American exceptionalism here. You see the long list. I'll start putting all these up on Hannity.com of all the things that the president has done, every step that he has taken, every step of the way. We now know that FEMA has already distributed millions and millions of N95 masks, face masks. They're all getting out there in record time. The president kind of hit GM a little bit today, and GM responded, no, we just brought back 1,000 workers. We're getting right to the bottom of this immediately. I watch with amazement. I cannot believe, here it is, ground zero in New York. This is the #1 terror target, most likely terror target in the entire United States. If you're going to have a health pandemic or any type of pandemic, it's pretty good odds that when you have millions of people in such close proximity as you do in New York City, that you're going to be on the front lines of whatever that pandemic is. And every single day, you watch the governor of New York, and he speaks authoritatively. He really does. He sounds like he's in control. And Comrade de Blasio, I don't even know what to say about this. He's just a bumbling fool. And I watch these guys, and I'm like, every single day, they're, so the President of the United States is setting up and building with the Corps of Engineers, 4 separate hospitals in New York. Now they were able to advance the movement of this U.S. Navy hospital up to New York Harbor. It's leaving tomorrow. It'll be available for the people of New York. They just got 4,000 ventilators sent this week to New York. And even Cuomo says, no, we don't need them now, but we think we're going to need them. I had 400, I need 30,000. Okay, why didn't you prepare for them? We told you about the case, Washington Post article. 2015. It makes you wonder. Now, what makes me and has made me so confident that we're going to get through this is because I do have faith, trust, hope, belief, because in American ingenuity, American genius, American entrepreneurial endeavors. I mean, all the businesses that have stepped up, that they're going to step up when needed, when called upon, and it is all happening and unfolding before our eyes. At times it's sloppy and difficult. You know, you need to prepare yourself emotionally for what we told you was coming now for weeks, that you're going to see this rapid rise in the numbers of people with more testing that have contracted the coronavirus. But I urge you to please remember the vast majority of those showing great promising results. There's a trial going on right now in New York. I don't like the idea that no doctor can prescribe it on his own unless you are forced into the government trial if you even want any chance of getting hydrochloroquine. That's not fair to everybody. There are people hoarding it. Well, we now have Bayer and another pharmacy company that are now pumping it out left and right, so there'll be plenty for everybody in short order as the numbers begin to rise, and as hopefully the success numbers continue to grow. And the technology, we now learned yesterday, ventilators can now be converted to serve up to 4 separate patients at a time. The head of the president's coronavirus task force, Vice President Pence, said yesterday that anesthesiologists have figured out a way to convert their machines fairly easily into ventilators. Should we need more, he said that would mean tens of thousands more available. The goal would be not to get to the point that we need all of that, but clearly we have the triage capability. We're targeting the areas where there's the heaviest concentration of people that have contracted the virus. And, you know, anytime with all of this happening and the president rewriting the books, and you never get a pat on the back, wow, the president did a great job with that travel ban. The president is building us 4 hospitals. The president is sending in the Navy hospital ship. The president has set up the ventilators. The president has done this. No, you don't even get a thank you hardly out of these guys. All you get is, I need more, now, hurry. And I gotta wonder, well, why didn't you all prepare for what is predictable for a city like New York? The lack of preparation is breathtaking to me. The president has directed the federal response. He's helping every single state in need. And everything they've asked for so far, they have all gotten in record time. Everyone acknowledges New York is the epicenter. I grew up in New York. I want New York taken care of. I don't want anybody to die. The president had to answer the question the other day, how many deaths are acceptable? How about none? Nobody wants anybody to die. I wish we didn't lose tens of thousands of Americans every year to the flu. I wish that 60.8 million Americans didn't contract H1N1 in 2009 and 10. I wish 13,000 people didn't die in that pandemic in the first year. I wish hundreds of thousands of Americans weren't hospitalized during that pandemic. You know, but the president is, you know, every step of the way. There's a long list. We'll put it on Hannity.com. All of it is going. They're even turning the Javits Center into an additional hospital. Another 1,000 beds, and the same thing's going on out in California. And that means all the accompanying medical supplies. How is it New York hospitals were not prepared for something like this? It would think you would have these plans in place immediately, knowing that New York would be a terror target. New York would have bigger problems when there are pandemics like this. And, you know, and the complaining, it's never good enough, never thank you, nothing. And then there's, we're only getting 3.8 billion of this thing. No, you're getting 40 billion, and if you have a problem with the bill, Donald Trump doesn't write bills. Talk to your Senate Minority Leader, fellow New Yorker, Chucky Schumer, about it. How come you are acting totally helpless, and you're saying, we need this, we need it, we need it? What are you doing to get these things together? Last year, New York spent $170 billion. That's a lot of money. You know, and the city, what, $90 billion you know, these are massive amounts of money.